Hello everyone, Darren from DrayTek Australia and New Zealand, and welcome to Iland Technology's presentation on DrayTek VigorACS 3. This is the fourth part of our VigorACS 3 webinar series. In today's presentation we'll look at device monitoring and reporting. This is a continuation of our training series to allow you to successfully install and configure various components of VigorACS 3 to allow you to easily manage your customer networks. So today we'll be looking at two main topics, which are monitoring devices and how to create reports using VigorACS 3. We'll look at the monitoring menu and show you how to use each of the features, then we'll demonstrate how to generate reports. Okay, let's start with monitoring devices. Clicking on the monitoring icon will show various menu items to help monitor normal and abnormal activity on the network. This includes alarm, logs, devices, clients, cellular data usage, floor plan, and rogue AP detection. When the SD-WAN feature is enabled for the selected network group, you'll notice that 4 more options become available, which are WAN SD-WAN, VPN SD-WAN, VoIP SD-WAN, and data usage SD-WAN. Let's take a look at each of these menu items. When an event occurs that affects a CPE device in ACS3, it's recorded as an alarm message. This can be viewed in the alarm menu within the monitoring function. There are several items that are recorded, including the time the event occurred, the device name, network name, and the MAC address. The alarm level can be either critical, major, minor, warning, or normal, depending on the severity. The alarm type is also recorded, which for example might be a lost connection. The History tab will display all alarms that have occurred in the past which have since been cleared. To remove an alarm from the alarm log, it'll need to be acknowledged. You do that by selecting it by clicking on the box to the left of it, then click on the ACK alarm at the top. Then finally confirm the acknowledgement. Note that only users within the same user group will be notified of the message. Once the alarm is acknowledged, the ACK status will change to Act, that's acknowledged, and the time will be recorded. The next menu item is Logs. This is where any activity is recorded. The actions logged include device reboot, reboot by CPE, reset system password, set parameter, file transfer, setting profile, device syslog, CPE notify, device register, and device operate. All the actions can be viewed under All CPE Actions. The logs can also be saved as an Excel file by simply clicking on the Download button. The next menu item is Devices. This is where we can see the status of all devices in the selected network. In the example shown here, we have all the devices that are connected to the Melbourne network. For how to connect devices using TR-069, please visit our Part 2 webinar, Adding Devices and Creating Networks. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. The table can display router information such as the online-offline status, uptime, the last informed time, how many clients are connected, and current traffic through the router. Clients is the next menu item down the list. It shows information for wireless and wired clients which are connected to specific CPEs. You can specify or customize the report view by selecting the time and day. There's also an option to create a report which can be downloaded as an Excel file. In this example, we selected the Sydney network to display the wireless and wired clients, and we can see that in the last 24 hours, 5 wired clients were connected to the 2865AX, and at the bottom there was one wireless device named Sing connected to the AP903. We can also see how long each device was online and how much traffic went through them, both download and upload. The cellular data usage page displays LTE data traffic information for LTE-capable devices, such as LTE routers. In the example shown here, we have a 2866 LAC connected to the Melbourne network. The LTE data usage overview shows data used, data cycle, download and uploaded data for this router. The system administrator can also set up a data usage alarm on the quota settings shown on the right at number 2. The alarm will be triggered if the data usage reaches a certain data quota or percentage. The alarm message can be found under the alarm section that we looked at previously. The floor plan page helps determine the best location to place VigorAPs into an area. You'll first need to upload a floor plan of the site to ACS3 before you can place devices. There are a number of steps required. First, select the network group up the top, then click on plus add, create a profile name, then upload the floor plan. Once the floor plan is uploaded, we need to add some dimensions for the size of the location. First, click on Edit Dimension and the system will require you to draw a line and enter the measurement in meters or feet. Then click OK to save. Then all you need to do is add access points. To do that, just click on the plus add device and all the access points on the network should appear as unassigned APs. Then simply click and drag them to the floor plan where you want them and click Save. Here's our first one in place. The coloured area around it shows the signal strength, with red being the strongest and blue the weakest. This assumes 100% signal strength setting in the access point. So you can then easily see any overlap or black spots to decide where best to position your APs. And here we have two devices added to the Sydney office floor plan, and we can easily see that we have reasonable coverage at the moment, with the possible exception of the top right and bottom left extremities. Bear in mind we have tweaked the size of the area for the sake of this diagram. Normally either of these APs would have no problem covering this area unless there are obstructions such as metal or concrete walls and so on. The next menu item we'll look at is Rogue AP Detection. This will display all the access point information detected by a VigorACS point. Access points will be classified as either rogue or known and placed under different tabs. Clicking on Scam Now will perform an access point detection immediately. You can also set up daily or weekly periodic scans. In the example here, all the access points will be initially grouped as rogue APs. You can then select which access points are not rogue devices by clicking the boxes to the left of each one and then clicking on Mark as Known. That will respond with a success message. These devices will then be added to the Known AP list. All the APs listed here will be considered as friendly. You can also modify settings in each AP by clicking the box to the left of it and then selecting from the pull-down menus. Those settings include the channel and the security settings. Once you've made any changes, click Save to retain them. As mentioned earlier, if the SD-WAN feature has been enabled on the selected network, there'll be 4 extra pages under Monitoring. The SD-WAN feature can be enabled under Network Management. First, select the network group and then slide to enable the SD-WAN features under Advanced Settings down the bottom. You can check the WAN status of the router under the WAN SD-WAN page. In this example here, we can see the WAN status of the 2865AX, including the uptime, upload and download speed, latency, jitter and packet loss. The VPN SD-WAN page displays the status of VPN connections created using the SD-WAN feature. The map on top shows geographical information of the VPN tunnel. The tunnel list displays the source and destination addresses of the VPN, the type, uptime, usage, latency and other information of the VPN tunnel. We'll go through how to configure VPNs in depth in a future webinar in this series. In this example, we have the status of a hub and spoke VPN connection using IPsec. In this example, we have the status of a mesh VPN connection between a 2865AX, 2866 LAC and a 2927 LAC. The router information can also be displayed by clicking on the blue dot on the map. The VoIP call list displays the communication status of incoming and outgoing calls via the VoIP WAN. There is a MOS, that's a mean opinion score, on top, which shows the voice call quality, and the report can be arranged to show details for various time periods. The data usage page shows the data usage on each of the devices. The app source overview can be sorted by the device name or the total traffic. More information can be shown by clicking into each of the devices. For example, let's see what happens if we click on the 2865AX. So here we can see that the data usage can be sorted by application or client device. If you'd like to know more details about VoIP, simply click on VoIP and the system will show the amount of VoIP usage. And we can drill down further to see which clients use the application. Okay, now that we've looked at the monitoring functions available in ACS3, let's take a look at creating reports. The reports section in ACS3 comes in handy when you want to collect statistics or organise a performance report on a router. ACS3 allows scheduling report tasks and generating specific reports. The report can include device information, traffic statistics or graph, firmware overview, network overview, port and USB status and more. Reports with particular parameter lists can be generated as well. The reports page allows an administrator to set up report tasks in ACS3. When setting up the reporting profile, the administrator can choose to download the report or send reports periodically to users in a selected group. To do that, first we go over here to the reports menu and select report tasks. Then select the applicable user group. Click on add to create a new report task. Make sure it's enabled, then give it a name in the task title field. We'll just call this one LAN report. Now we need to select the content we want in the report. We want traffic and LAN statistics in this one. Then we need to select a delivery option. We'll run with download for this one. After that, select the file type for the report. Options available are PDF, CSV, Excel or a Word document. We'll just leave this one at the default PDF. At last, select the network group or particular devices we want to see in the report and click Save. And once we save, we'll see that report in our report tasks page, and we can download it anytime we like by clicking on the download link there. The report usually takes 1 to 2 minutes to generate, but we'll fast forward a little, and there it is. Okay, let's try another one now, except this time we'll schedule the report to be emailed periodically. Again, select the user group, click on Add to create a new report task, and make sure it's enabled. Give it a task title and select the content we want to see in it. If Send by Email is selected, more options will appear. First, select the time range of the report. For this example, we'll run with last week. Now we can select either send the report once or repeat. If you only want it once, you can either send it now or later on a specific time or day. If the repeat option is selected, we'll get a pop-up screen where you can select how often you want the report, either daily, weekly, monthly, and also the start day and the start time. After that, create an email title, enter the sender email, add the messages, and enter the receiver email address. You can also click Add to add more receivers. Finally, select the network or particular devices you want in the report and click Save. And done. Okay, so once the report schedule has been set up, you can manage the report tasks on the main page. Here we have the 2 tasks we just created, and we can edit or delete the report tasks here or download any that we've set to allow that option. The file will take a minute or 2 to generate and the download will start automatically. Circling back to what we saw in the video, there are 6 main types of reports that can be generated in the reports page, including traffic, firmware, network, status, information, and device configuration. In the traffic category, you can choose from LAN statistic, WAN statistic, NAT statistic, LAN graph, WAN graph, and NAT graph. Under firmware, you'll find firmware overview, firmware group view, and firmware upgrade wizard overview. For network, the report will display an IP overview of all the LAN and WAN ports for each device. In the status category, the report will show the status overview, USB modem overview, and port status overview. And under the information category, you can choose from note overview, device information, and detailed device information overview. The device configuration option allows obtaining information using parameters that are not listed in the main categories. The report can be exported as a PDF or CSV file. For example, here is a parameter to check if the data filter is enabled or not. So all you need to do here is click the Add button under Parameter List and paste it in. I'll show you where to copy it from in a moment. After that, select the model name, modem version, or leave it as default, and the severity. Then select the network or networks you'd like it to apply to. For example, in this one we've selected the SD-WAN network. The report will be generated in a couple of minutes, and here's an example of what you'll see. You can also generate multiple reports at the same time. Just keep in mind that the ACS3 server doesn't keep the reports on this page, so make sure to save a copy before exiting. Okay, so where to obtain the parameter list item? There's two ways to go about it. The first is to use the TR069 commands in the CLI to retrieve all the TR069 parameters from DrayTek devices. We have a step-by-step guide, article 5305, in our knowledge base to show you how to do that, which I'll link in the description below. The second way is to obtain it from the parameter tree in ACS3. Go to Configuration and click on Advanced, and you'll see a parameter tree. For our example, to check whether the data filter is enabled or not, go to X-00507F_firewall general setup and click on Data Filter Enable. Then click Copy at the bottom right. You should see a notification that it has been copied to the clipboard. Paste the parameter to the parameter list when you create a new report task or edit an existing one. Select the devices and network that you'd like it to apply to and click Query. The generated report in our example here will only show the result of the firewall data filter parameter. Okay, so we've reached the end of our presentation today. To summarise, we started by looking at the monitoring functions within VigorACS3. This included alarm, logs, devices, cellular data usage, floor plan, rogue AP detection, and SD-WAN monitoring. Then we looked at how to create reports using VigorACS3 by going through a couple of examples. In our next webinar in this series, we'll be looking at creating VPN tunnels using VigorACS3, and I hope you'll return for that one. Okay, that's all for now, but please stay tuned. We'll be answering questions in the live chat on the right of your screen for the next 5 minutes. For more information about DrayTek products, please check out our website at www.draytek.com.au or send us an email to sales@draytek.com.au or give us a call on 02 9838 8899. Don't forget to like and subscribe below, and if you'd like a notification anytime we put up a new video, please give the bell a click too. Thanks and bye for now.